Hello and welcome to another episode of the Atlas Solutions podcast. My name is Brian. He's Chad, and we're going to take you through some tech news, some Apple-centric news, and tell you how that may affect your business. Hey, Chad, what do you have for us today?
Oh, man, exciting news. JAMF, if you're not familiar with JAMF, JAMF is an MDM provider, a managed device provider. It's arguably the number one, the king of the managed services or the managed platforms for Apple. And they just crossed 20 million devices yesterday. So I've been working with JAMF as a contractor. A lot of people that will listen to this have worked with me in jump starts and trainings and just general education about managing Apple devices. And so I'm really proud of JAMF and glad that I've been using them for all that time. So for those who don't know, again, an MDM, mobile device management, it's not unique to Apple, but usually you'll find those terms MDM in the Apple platform with configuration profiles and patch management and deployment of software. So really exciting to see those numbers. 20 million devices is quite a jump. And Brian, you had said earlier, you were looking at the statistics of what it was just a short period of time ago to now. So what were those numbers that you were looking at?
Yeah. So the article I was reading essentially said that 5 years ago, they were managing less than 4 million devices. And I think last year alone, they added that many.
That's incredible.
Over the last 5 years, they've tripled. But last year alone, they added 4 million new Macs.
That's incredible.
New Apple devices, not just Macs.
Well, and we were talking before we hit record about what that means. What that speaks to is that enterprise is beginning to embrace Apple. You know, enterprise is saying, yes, it's okay to have a Mac. It's becoming the norm. For us, it's been the norm for a decade, 20 years, whatever. But it's been a little slow. But with tools like JAMF and other tools out there, it makes your device a little bit better for enterprise. You can manage the encryption keys. You can remote wipe. You can patch software. And especially in days like today, I mean, there's a vulnerability that comes out in Zoom. Well, if you have MDM, if you have JAMF, you get with your engineers, your security team, whatever, send out the patch and it's done. You know, if the machine checks in, if it gets online again, it's going to get the patch. Especially with JAMF Cloud, we've been moving a lot of customers over to cloud. Actually, one of our big customers just recently finally moved to the cloud. We're excited about that. So they were one of the last holdouts. But with cloud, you've got your JAMF server in the cloud as well as the package distribution. So really, just as long as the machine can touch the internet, it's checking in, it's compliant with whatever security standards you have. And if it's not, you can get notified about it and so on. So we're proud to be JAMF MDM providers here at Atlas Solutions as well. So really happy for JAMF. Really glad to see that the world is taking Apple serious. So,
yeah, I think a lot of this actually comes from companies becoming more open to allowing their employees to choose their platform. You know, so many people, the Mac's grown so much in the last decade that we've gotten so used to, or a lot of people have them at home and they want to use them at the office. And organizations are starting to go, if I have JAMF or something like this, I can still have some control over what's happening. The employees are happier because they're on a Mac and not some old Windows box, you know.
I mean, I know for me, taking a job, that would be that'd be a big decision if I went to a place, especially as a technology guy. It'd be a tough place to say, hey, you know, here's going to be this lockdown Windows box you have to use versus, you know, I work on a Mac all the time. Obviously, I would never use Windows, but yeah, I mean, I think if you're a creative, you kind of feel like your hands are tied. And we work with a lot of customers as well that, you know, they're in banking, they're credit unions, they're in medical, and a lot of them, architecture and stuff, they tend to be creatives. They want to work on a Mac. They also use Windows. We are multi-platform MSP, so we kind of understand it's a tool for the job. But it's nice to see, a screwdriver added to the tool set here instead of just always a hammer or always a wrench. So, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. So, when you say that tool analogy, they've added the Torx wrench basically now.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Or I guess in the Apple world, it's like the 5-pointed, screwdriver
the
head.
star bit thing.
Yeah. So, today on Is It Worth It section, I wanted to talk about Apple's magnetic wallet that came out. I got mine, as you can see here. I got I don't know what color it's called. I'm sure Apple has
saddle brown.
Yeah, it's like some specific brown. It's saddle brown. Yeah, it is saddle brown. Yeah. So $59.99 for this little guy. Is it worth it? I want to be honest when I'm going through these is it worth it deals, because especially in these days, we don't have expendable money to throw around at little things. But for me, the past few years and maybe even longer, I've struggled with carrying a wallet around. It's one extra thing to carry. I've got a bunch of stuff in there that I don't really need. So when I got this thing, I've got 3 cards in there. And I had to think, what can I do without? So I had things like my insurance card. I probably use it once a year, maybe not even once a year. A lot of that stuff's digital anyway. You've got digital cards. You have the actual Apple Wallet on your phone. So I basically have my license and 2 credit cards in here. The one disappointment I will say is that if you want to carry the Apple card around, the big metal Apple card, it's a little thick. So
only one of those fits in there, right?
Yeah. It might be by design that Apple just wants you to have the one metal card. So, for me, to be totally honest, $60, it's pretty high. It's a high quality leather. I had a concern, and a lot of people were telling me ahead of time that it falls off. You stick it in your pocket and it comes flying off. That's not really the case. I mean, honestly, it sticks on there pretty good. It's magnetic. I don't know how a third party does. I have had success buying Apple's own stuff. They've had more time to develop it, and they tend to do a little bit better job. But for me, the freedom of not having a wallet has been awesome. So just carrying this little guy around, it still is one more thing to carry, but just not having that. But I'm the type person that when I get in my car, I take my wallet out. I don't like to sit on my wallet. So, I always think of the Seinfeld, George Costanza's, the trifold whenever I'm sitting on my wallet. So it's nice to just have this tiny little, sleeve essentially that snaps to the back of the phone, and it snaps pretty good. I don't know if you can see that, but it just pops right on. I like the way the color match. You can get different colors to match up with your phone case. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I'm going to say it is worth the $60. Freedom. You don't have to pay chiropractor bill because you're you're leaning to the side, sitting on your wallet all the time. So
yeah, so you brought up an interesting point with that actually. If enough people have adopted the Apple Pay system, you don't have to carry. You just need to carry enough cards around to cover those few places that don't.
Yeah, like ID, things like that. And that's kind of the decision I made. Actually, while we were preparing for this, I was thinking about with coronavirus and all this stuff where people are doing contactless pay, it's actually fueled the Apple Pay system. Just to throw some other news in there, the metro system in New York finally has Apple Pay. So, I think that's just the world that we're already living in, and it has just been accelerated with all of this. So we're going to see more digital wallet stuff. Of course, we're technology guys. So some of these things, I've been using the Apple Wallet since the day it came out for airline tickets, for Starbucks, for, just to pull up the actual digital wallet. I mean, I have
movie passes are great in there.
Yeah. I mean, I have Walgreens. I have 5 cents on my Walgreens cash rewards card. So I gotta find something to blow that 5 cents on. Ticketmaster, that's always been a great one too. You don't have to worry about your tickets. You've got them in there. Airline tickets is probably my favorite, especially with the geolocation. You get to the location of, the airline or the baseball game or what have you, and it's going to be, you just swipe up and there you go. So, all of that information's in there. If you have a business, one other awesome thing is you can actually have your business, your Apple business card here. So when you go to the Apple store, you can just have them scan the QR code and it pulls up your business information as well. So, that's the digital version of this guy, but this gives you that extra little bit just to have ID and any other physical thing that you might need with you.
Yeah. Wow. I might have to buy one now.
Yeah. $59.99.
That costs as much as the leather whole case, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing I would hesitate on is, $60 for a wallet.
It holds three things.
Yeah. To hold 3 cards is like, yeah. But that's why we do this for you. So you can go out and listen to us, and then we'll tell you our opinion, and you can make your own. And of course, you can comment and tell us what you think, if we're crazy or if you feel like it's a waste of money. I had
put it on a wish list or something for someone to buy for you.
That's right. Yeah, you can wish list it.
Nice gift.
Yeah, I had at least 2 people say, "Oh yeah, the reviews are saying that it doesn't stick to the phone and that sort of thing." And I thought, I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to try it and see how it works out. And I love it. I couldn't tell you where my regular wallet is right now. So I would say it's a success. So awesome. Well, thanks for joining, and leave comments below if you have questions about JAMF or MDM, or let us know what you think about that Apple Wallet, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for listening.